All right, what is up, sports bettors? How we doing? It's Matt Modi here with OddsJam. In this video, giving you guys my favorite NFL player props for wildcard weekend, specifically for Saturday's slate of games. So we got Seahawks versus 49ers as the early game. We got Jags versus Chargers as the late game. I'm going to give you some player props to lock in for both of those games, but just for Saturday. Sundays will be in a different video. Mondays will be in a different video. So make sure to subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel to get notified whenever these NFL video bets, best bets go live. And then also, if you want to find me on social media where I tweet some sports betting stuff, some nonsense, you can at my Twitter handle that you see on the screen here at Jedi Modi, Jedimodi. Little shout out to Star Wars there. But let's get right into it. So going to be using the OddsJam Positive EV page as well as the OddsJam Screen to find these player prop bets. So starting with the Positive EV page, the first play that we are going to lock in here is Geno Smith over 227.5 passing yards. So this is offered at Caesars Sportsbook at plus 108 odds. So right off the bat, I probably understand people being a little bit skeptical because how good the 49ers defense is, but it's a mathematically profitable play. So no matter how gross it feels, that's the most important thing. That's all that matters. So I'm actually going to put a half unit on this one. This is not one that I have locked in yet. So I need to log into my Caesars account. I need to go to NFL. I need to go to Seahawks versus Chargers. And I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in for just a half a unit, not a total McSlam. I do think it's a good play, so I'm going to put half a unit on this bad boy, $50. That bet has been placed, and we are good to go there. So the mathematical profitability behind this play, right? It all comes from these no vig odds that you see here. So these no vig odds, they're pulled from the sharpest sports books in the entire world, the sports books that consistently do the best job at pricing odds. One little secret about sports betting is that sports books are all going to have different odds for a play. Some sports books are better than others at pricing odds. It's kind of just how it is. Just like there are certain sources that you trust more than others, whether it comes to the stock market, whether it comes to just news breaking in general. Same thing with sports betting. There are reputable sports books that are known to be sharper than others. OddsJam tested this, went back, tested thousands and thousands of betting opportunities to determine who the sharp sports books are. And that's what feeds into these no vig odds here. So looking at the play itself, no vig odds priced this at about plus 103. Caesars is giving it to us at plus 108. So that gap right there, that is your edge. That is your profitability. The true line of this play should be priced closer to plus 103. We're getting it 5 cents better. And better means more higher payout, so better for the sports bettor at plus 108. That's a good sign. And then you want to look at where every other sportsbook prices this. So right now we see odds from 5 other sportsbooks, right? 3 of the 4, excuse me. BetMGM, Caesars, Bet365, and DraftKings, so that is 4. All price this as a 50-50 outcome, right? So plus 108 is the odds that we are betting it at. That means that if you win 50% of your bets at plus 108 odds, like if you place 1,000 bets at plus 108 and you win half your bets, you will have profited from that interaction. That's the beauty of betting plus money. And then, so the sports books that are telling you that this is a 50-50 bet, that's a good sign for us, right? And the reason why I know that these sports books are pricing it as a 50-50 outcome is look how these 4 sports books price both sides, right? For DraftKings, the over and under have the same price, minus 115. For Bet365, same thing, minus 110. Same thing for FanDuel and BetMGM. Because a sports book, or I should say when a sports book is charging the same amount of juice on the over versus the under, that is them telling you that they think that this is a 50-50 outcome. They don't know, they don't have a side that's favored, so they're charging the same amount of juice for each side. Caesars has it all the way up at plus 108. Again, that's a good sign. And then the other sportsbook, Pinnacle, Doesn't have it as a 50-50 outcome, but still has it a good, I don't know, 11 cents lower than what Caesars has it at minus 103. So half unit play here on Geno Smith to go over 227.5 passing yards as play number one. Let me hop on the OddsJam screen here and give you a couple more plays. So the market we are looking at is anytime touchdown score. And the OddsJam screen is really cool because you choose a market, which I just said is anytime TD, and it pulls up where every sportsbook is pricing odds for this market. So it's really easy way to immediately identify sportsbooks that have mispriced odds. And it pulls it up for every single game. So I'm not just looking at Seattle versus San Francisco. I can scroll down and look at Jacksonville versus Chargers. I can scroll down and look at Sunday's games. Scroll down even further, look at Monday's games. It's for every single game, all on one screen. So the goal, specifically when you are, using the OddsJam screen, is to identify outliers across the entire betting landscape. And it works for anytime touchdown bets as well. So there are two players that I have identified as my favorite bets to score in the game. I'm not necessarily saying these are the two most likely. Like if you wanted to bet the most likely player to score, just bet Christian McCaffrey at minus 145 odds. Odds aren't super favorable, but he is likely to score. But the best value that I found was George Kittle at plus 170 odds. So I already locked him in. I put a half unit on this one as well. As you can see, it got a bunch of bets here. George Kittle to score a touchdown, plus 170 odds. I put a half unit, $50 on this one as well. First things first, let's talk about the value. Caesars is giving this to us at plus 170. Look at the other three sportsbooks. FanDuel and Fox Bet have it at plus 145. BetRivers has it at plus 148. It's at a minimum 22 cents higher than BetRivers and 25 cents higher than the other two sportsbooks. This is a really good price at plus 170. Now that's the math, the value behind it. In terms of football reasons, if you want to laugh, look at George Kittle's stats the last 4 games since Purdy took over. He scored in 4 games. He has scored a combined 7 touchdowns. So a combined 7 touchdowns in 4 games. In 3 of those 4 games, he has scored 2 touchdowns. So not even 1, but 2 touchdowns. That includes a game against these Seahawks where he had 4 receptions for over 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's been a fantasy football champion for people that have had George Kittle. He's just got a really good rapport with Brock Purdy, and that's showed itself in the last 4 games. Again, 7 touchdowns in 4 games. And we're getting a really good value play at him at plus 170. So that's my favorite play for the Seahawks versus 49ers game. And then in the other game on Saturday, Jacksonville versus Chargers, my favorite bet to score is Travis Etienne. So again, this is at Caesars, is offering him to score at minus 118 odds. Look at the other 3 sportsbooks. FanDuel is at minus 130. Fox Bet is at minus 133. And then BetRivers is all the way up at minus 159. That's insane for the same exact play. He's either going to score or he's not, but we're getting such a better price by using the OddsJam screen to line shop. And then in terms of football reasons for this one, which is another play that I locked in, I put 3/4 of a unit on this one. So $75. I upped my unit size a little bit more due to him being significantly more likely to actually score. Not sure what happened here, but you saw that I locked it in. Here we go. $75 on him to score a touchdown. So in terms of my logic for this one, the Chargers have a pretty stout pass defense. Brandon Staley, that's kind of his calling card, is pass defense. They have an awful run defense, according to DVOA, the 4th worst in the entire NFL against the run. And ETN kind of started off the year kind of slow, splitting time with James Robinson. Since the Jags have shipped away James Robinson, ETN has been incredible. He had a stretch in the middle of the season where I think he scored in 4 straight. 2 weeks ago against the Texans, he had, I think, 9 carries for over 100 yards and scored. And he also gets a lot of work in the passing game as well. So he remains a really good bet to score just in general. And we're getting such a good value compared to the rest of the sports books. So those are going to be my 3 player props that I have already locked in that I recommend you guys lock in as well. But that's going to be it. So if you're tailing these 3, comment and let me know. We'd love to hear it. And that's all I got. So I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit me up on Twitter, and have a good one.